Hey, thanks for checking out Fast Days Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. You can call me a prophet right now if you'd like, but what's going to happen is our country is about to become, in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, progressively worse, a third world country. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to happen unless something drastically changes, which I doubt. Here's why. We are currently well below what's called a required birth rate. You see, when I was a kid, there was a book, I think it was called The Population Bomb or something like that got everybody going. All you heard was, we've got to reduce the population rate. There's not going to be enough food. Well, it turns out all that is BS. The reality is that if you don't maintain birth rate, there's not going to be enough of the younger generation to take care of the older and to maintain existing structures. That means that if you drop below birth rate, required birth rate, that future generations aren't going to have enough to eat, aren't going to have enough people to maintain the services and the things that we well enjoy. Therefore, becoming a third world population. Here's why. And by the way, here's why America cannot stay free. Absolutely cannot. Nor can, England, I know they got a king and they're not a democracy, but they're relatively free. They can't do that either. Eventually, everything's going to be run by a totalitarian dictator. Whether you believe in the Antichrist or not, somebody is going to have to run the entire world, and it's leading towards that. Everything is going to be a third world country. Why is America not going to be any different? We're well below birth rates. Right now, streaming across the border are basically third world country people, and what's worse than that, not only third world country, but countries that hate us. So we are not only allowing, we are inviting in our enemy. And our enemies have children at a much higher rate than we do. Countries under Sharia law are having children triple what we have. So we're going backwards, they're going forward. It's only math. So I'm not a prophet, I'm just doing the math. Eventually, what's going on in Michigan, where you have entire groups, towns of people from nationalities that hate our guts, they are absolutely having children way faster than we are. So the people that love America, that love freedom, that love your freedom of speech, all the opening businesses, all the stuff that we enjoy, they're not having enough children. But the people that want to have, let's say, Sharia law, that want dictators, they don't like freedom. By the way, most people don't like freedom. And you're asking yourself, well, that's BS. Of course, everybody likes freedom. No, everybody says they like freedom, but most don't, because freedom means responsibility. So all these people that are coming across the border are having more children than we are. They have different beliefs than we have. And eventually, just out of sheer math, our country is going to look like where they're coming from. The problem is, years ago, when you came to our country, we were called a melting pot, right? Well, the not just a theory, it's what it was. People came here, and regardless of their native language, they learned English. They learned the American way, and they set aside their previous countries and became loyal to America. But right now, all the kids coming out of college, they don't believe in America anymore. They believe that, they think they believe in a melting pot, but no, they don't. What they believe is everyone coming in should maintain their identity. We hear a lot about identity these days. What they want is, hey, if you're Mexican, you maintain your Mexican identity. If you're Haitian, maintain your Haitian identity. If you're Muslim or from a Muslim country, you're from Iraq, maintain your Iraqi identity. That's the American way. No, it's not. The American way has always been, and what has served us well, is when somebody came to our country, they learned our language, learned our ways, and became the melting pot. Think of it like soup. I put some tomatoes in it. I put some green beans in it. When you eat the soup, you kind of can't really specifically taste the tomato like a tomato anymore, or a green bean like a green bean anymore. It kind of has that blended flavor. That's what America is supposed to be. But when somebody comes over who, let's say, believes in Sharia law and hates our guts, we're encouraging, our children are encouraging those people to now, hey, you don't need to blend in. You don't need to become American. You can love your home country. That's not true. To be an American means losing your identity personally and bringing on a national identity. Now, the funny part is it's almost a mixed reality, actually. As Americans, we believe in personal identity. In fact, our whole government is set up so that a chicken doesn't have to be afraid of if there's, two wolves and a chicken fighting, discussing what's for dinner. The individual matters, absolutely matters. The individual is everything in our country, but collectively, we make up our country. So, yes, we encourage individuality within the constraints of being an American. So again, folks, what's happening now is all these people streaming across our border, and it's not just happening in America. And if you're wondering why they're allowing this to happen, it's because the people in charge of our government right now hate America. Absolutely. I'm talking 99% of the Democrats and 80% of the Republicans. They hate America. How do you know? Because they don't do anything to stop what's going on. In fact, they're encouraging it. So the Democrats are encouraging it, and the Republicans aren't doing anything about it. So they're just as guilty. They want this to happen. Why? I don't know. But they seem to think that America is bad and there's some coming utopia. Well, America has brought more prosperity, more freedom, not just in America, but around the world than any other country in the history of mankind. Sure, we've had our faults. Sure, as a country, we've made mistakes. But as a whole, what are you trying to change? It's like you have $1 million, you buy $1 million Lamborghini. It's perfect. It's tuned perfect. It's out of the box. It's perfect. That's America. And you have a bunch of yahoos right now in government who got wrenches out and they're going, hey, let's tinker with the engine. Let's see if we can make it better. Really? Really? Yeah, you got a Lamborghini, the fastest one they make, and you want to tinker with it? No, you leave it alone. So anyway, folks, mark my words, if something doesn't change, you're going to see the dynamics of our country change. They're already changing, but we will become a third world country if we don't stop what's happening soon. Tell me your thoughts.